Hi guys, how's it going? I thought I would pop on here real quick and just kind of share some whips with you, some things I'm working on, or the projects that I am currently giving attention, because I think I have like 4 or 5 projects that I started but put them on the back burner because I'm not ready to touch them yet. I get quite busy, but then there's some projects that I just always want to have on my hook to break up bigger projects, you know what I mean? So I'm going to be sharing with you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different projects that either 4 of them that I am still working on, sort of, and the 5th one is a project I just finished, and it's going to be an upcoming tutorial that I'm super excited to share with you. So this is going to be more laid back and just kind of a show and tell that I hope you enjoy. So I'm actually going to take a sip of my drink, my coffee real quick. Go ahead and feel free to grab yourself something to drink, grab your project that you are working on right now. And I hope that you can just kind of chill and crochet while I share my crochet projects. This cup right here, Mary, do you recognize that? This was given to me by a good friend, Mary, one of my crafters gatherers on my channel. It says, I crochet so I don't unravel. Funny story with this cup. So I've actually been using it quite often recently, and it was in the sink to be washed, and my son was doing dishes and he found the cup and he's like, Mom, when did you get that? And I'm like, a friend gave it to me. And he's like, that's so cool. And then he goes to read the message on the cup and he's like, I crochet so I don't unravel. And the way he read it just made me laugh. I just cracked up because he was just so matter of fact as he was reading it. But thank you so much, Mary. I love this cup, and apparently so does my son. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. When it comes to the projects that I'm going to share, some of them are reminders, because I know for me, I need like a lot of reminders, and some are just kind of sharing with you what's going on behind the scenes here, because that's what this channel is all about, behind the scenes. First, I'm going to start with my Warm Up America sections. So I chose to do the sections opposed to making a full Afghan or an adult blanket, because these work up faster for me, and with the number of projects that I have going on and my deadlines and having a lot going on in general, it just makes sense for me to make the swatches, because I can whip one of these up super fast, whether I'm waiting in a parent pickup line or at an appointment, or just kind of something's happening and I'm waiting and I'm like, you know, like if I'm just gonna wait, I want to be able to be as productive as possible. I can't just sit still. I really can't. So these swatches are awesome for me. Right now I've only worked up 6, and so I'm a little disappointed in myself that I've only done 6. I wanted to produce so much more. There's quite a lot left in the skeins. I was just using some leftover scrap yarn skeins that were part of another project, and I was like, these are going to be perfect colors. And I was hoping to be able to just empty out those entire skeins, so that way I could just not have them anymore on my shelf. And that is the ultimate goal, because I really love these Warm Up America campaigns, because they too help me to get rid of a lot of that excess scrap yarn that I didn't use because I finished the project for a tutorial or for some other project, and it's just kind of taking up space. There's actually a whole mound of yarn I'm looking at right now. There's boxes. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes in this corner of my studio right now, and it's just yarn that I don't have any. It's scraps, you know, just yarn that I don't have any project for or purpose for at the moment, but I don't want to give it away, because either it's not pretty in its skein. You know, I want to give away fresh skeins, fresh skeins that look brand new. I don't want to give away like my scrap, you know. I don't think people would really like that. So it's just kind of sitting there until I do something with it. And when these Warm Up America campaigns come up, I'm like, yes, let's use it up. Let's get rid of it. You know, so I'm looking at it, I'm like, I need to use you so I can get rid of you. My studio is almost done. I'm slowly, like every now and then I'm tweaking a section and I'm like, oh, that looks great, I'm gonna keep that. And then I'll tweak another section and I'm like, oh, that looks great, I'm gonna keep that. There's still some things where I'm like, I don't have a home for you, I don't have a spot for you yet, and it still, to me, looks quite cluttered. The space just isn't complete. But as soon as the space feels like it's ready, like it feels done, that's when I'm going to do my studio tour, and I'm so excited to be able to do that for you. But I just don't want to show it to you now when it's not done yet and I don't have everything figured out, because I don't want you to look at it like, that's Tiffany's space, that's how she wants things to be, and it's like, not really. Like, this section right behind me finally came together. Finally, I'm super excited about it. But anyways, getting back on topic. So yeah, I'm hoping to knock out a couple more swatches before our campaign ends. I actually think I might even start doing a countdown reminder on both my community tab on YouTube here, because a lot of people don't have social media. So having the countdown on social media only is not going to hit everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and put a countdown for the last day to ship off your Warm Up America donations. It's going to be September 9th. Anything post-stamped after September 9th is still going to be welcomed by Warm Up America. They're going to be very happy to get it. It just won't count towards our campaign numbers. And I want to be able to make sure that we can work together to see what we were able to accomplish. I think that is just amazing that they count those donations for us. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put a countdown, because I know for me, I need constant reminders. People will remind me over and over and over again, and I just get so busy and so distracted, easily distracted, that I just forget over and over and over again. So I'll do that. I'll make sure I have a reminder on there for you. Let me know in the comment section below if you made anything for the Warm Up America Foundation, what it was, and I would just love to see that. I'd love to get your feedback on what you were capable of doing. Or if you haven't started yet and you're like, oh no, I meant to do something, even if you can just make one swatch, just one rectangular section, and ship that in, every little bit helps for this campaign. So that is a big one that, again, I'm gonna try to make a few more. I have 6 now. I wanna try to get 20. That is my goal, is reaching 20 rectangular sections. Maybe by doing that, I'll be able to knock out those 3 skeins of yarn that I'm trying to just use up. We'll see. All right, the next thing I wanted to talk about. So I posted a picture on my, did I only post it? I'm starting to post things on both social media and YouTube community, trying to use my community tab more so that way I can get the word out to more people, just kind of show off the image or the video clip that I've created so more people can have access. Feel bad when people are like, I don't have social media, and they miss out on all that stuff. But I posted a picture of panel number 1. I'm making the Campfire Cardigan for a family member of a friend. And when I made the Campfire Cardigan in the tutorial, it just instantly made me think of her. However, the Campfire Cardigan I made in the tutorial, the stitches were longer and the dimensions that I made it in fit me, but this person is a lot shorter than I am, and so all of the dimensions are going to need to be modified to fit this individual. So, but I know that the colors are just totally her, and I think that this is going to just be something she's going to absolutely love. So I'm making the Campfire Cardigan for her. I have one panel, one hexagon shape done. I am super close to finishing the second hexagon shape, and if you have made the Campfire Cardigan already, you probably know that after you finish making the hexagon shapes, the project goes extremely fast. The longest process in that whole project is just creating those hexagon shapes. Because after you create these 2 hexagons, you join them together and then you just add some rows for the length, add some rounds for the sleeves, place a hood on it if you choose to place a hood on it, and then just do a border, and that's it. So I'm really excited that I'm almost done with hexagon number 2, because that means that I am going to be finishing up this project super fast, and you know how that feels when you finish a project. It's just, you get this satisfying feeling that is just, it's almost intoxicating, you know, because you just feel so much euphoria, so much, you just feel so good when you finish a project. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm super excited, one, to finish the project, but then also to give it to somebody, you know, just brighten somebody's day. And the other reason why I am using this yarn for the project, or the other reason why I'm making this Campfire Cardigan, is because I had excess yarn from the tutorial. I ended up overbuying yarn. And I did that because I thought that I was going to be making 2 Campfire Cardigans. One, I was going to make for the first time making it off the pattern. And I was like, I want to make it once. That way I know what I'm running into. I know how to explain it to people. And then I was going to use yarn to actually make a second one on camera. So I had a demo, and then I had my actual tutorial going on. However, I think what I noticed is in the process of making the Campfire Cardigan, I was like, oh my gosh, that's all we have to do? That's super simple. And I ended up coming to the conclusion that I wasn't going to need to make 2 Campfire Cardigans. I would be able to know how to explain it on camera through finishing the first one. So I ended up having a bunch of skeins left over. They're just sitting on my shelf, taking up real estate. And I'm like, I gotta get rid of you. So I think that's really what I'm doing right now, is I am trying to use up what I have. That's a big thing I'm doing. When I moved all of my yarn from my home office in the house out to the studio, and I was realizing how much yarn I had, what I had, I was like, I have a lot of projects in mind, a lot of things that I wanted to do that I just haven't done yet. Or I have a lot of excess yarn that I bought on sale, and I was just buying it because it was cheap, and now I don't have really a use for it, and it's just taking up room. And I don't have a ton of room to be storing a bunch of yarn. Plus, it brings me a lot of anxiety and stresses me out when I have a ton of yarn just waiting to be used, because I start to feel the stress of all of the things I need to do or all the things that I want to do. And I think that if I was able to weed out the yarn that I had excess of, such as the Campfire Cardigan yarn, or such as the scrap yarn for like that I was capable to use for other projects like the Warm Up America. If I can just clean out that yarn, having a purpose, and then free up that space, that's what I'm looking to do right now, is just go through everything and clean stuff out. Yeah, I think that's a killer for me, is when there's a huge sale. Huge sales are hard for me, because then I want to go take advantage of these huge sales. I want to be able to maximize. I want to buy a bunch of that yarn for tutorial purposes. I get really excited that it's so cheap. But the problem is when that happens, such as the big yarn haul I did with Hobby Lobby, right? I now have a bunch of yarn that I'm super excited about, super excited to use. I'm like, let me show you, like, this is my yarn wall right here. Super excited to have, super excited to use, but I don't have a project in mind. And unfortunately, when it comes to these big sales, like Hobby Lobby sales, they're cleaning out their inventory to make room for new stuff. So now a lot of this is discontinued. And so unfortunately, I have a lot of yarn now that has been discontinued. So when I do tutorials, because now I have all this yarn, I am gonna wanna try to find a substitution yarn that you can purchase that is still available if possible. That way, if you wanna try to achieve the same look of the project that I made in the tutorial, you can. And then other projects, I think I'm just gonna end up having fun with, trying to do on my own time, such as yarn like this guy right here. He is amazing, absolutely stunning. I have never seen this yarn type before. I've never played with this yarn type before. I have an idea of what I want to do, and I made sure to purchase enough yarn to actually make something and not be left with, it's discontinued. I can't get any more of it, so now I'm really limited on what I do with it, you know? So yeah, just trying to figure out that situation. I'm really eager to just clean everything out, start fresh, and then I'd ideally like to start purchasing yarn that is brand new to Michael's, Joann's, a Hobby Lobby even. I'd like to reach out to Premier and Hirschner's and Annie's and wherever they have new exciting yarn colors for the season. I want to start cleaning out my space so when the new season comes, I can get the new season yarn and play with that and create projects with that also. So that way I can inspire, you know what I mean? Okay, so those are two things. The next thing I'll go ahead and talk about are the maple leaves. So I did a little reel or short on the channel and on social media. I placed it in multiple locations of these fun guys. I was thinking about fall and what I could do differently that I don't see a lot of other people doing for fall, the autumn season coming up. Everyone seems to be really excited. Most people, I won't say everyone because I don't want to blanket statement anything, but most people seem to be super excited about fall coming. I know I am. It's my favorite season. Sweater weather, you know, just being comfy, cozy, everything about it. And honestly, it makes crocheting that much more enjoyable because you're working with these yarns that warm you up as you go. But when it comes to these maple leaves, you can, I mean, there's a couple things you can do with them. I thought that they'd be fun for so many purposes, really. It's a decal or an embellishment or motif, whatever you want to call it. You can create a bunch of these and just kind of place them all over your table to simulate leaves. You can string them up and hang them as a garland, which would be super pretty. You can literally just glue this to a card and make yourself like a greeting card that has a crochet leaf on it, which would be beautiful. You could glue these to pumpkins. If you want to get those plastic pumpkins from the store or even a real pumpkin and just kind of like attach these to the outside of it or the top of it, or whatever you really want to do with it. Those are just some fun ideas that came to me off the top of my head. I plan on making a couple different colors just to show the variation and excitement of the leaf. When it comes to these leaves, the smaller one here, I worked with a size 2 weight yarn, but I was like, not a lot of people, one, like working with 2 weight yarn, or two, have 2 weight yarn. So I found this yarn, which is, I love this yarn. I think it's terracotta color. It's a size 4 weight yarn, so that way you could see what it looks like in a size 4 weight also, because most people will have a 4 weight. Not a lot of people will have a 2 weight. So I wanted to show what that would look like in both variations of yarn. What I am finding, guys, is I am finding that I am blocking more than I ever have before. I never blocked projects before starting YouTube. I didn't know what blocking was. I never did it. Didn't really see the point in it. But this year in particular, I've blocked more projects and done so much blocking that I have like a stack of stuff over here that needs to be blocked. Like whether it is granny squares, or I actually blocked these leaves so that way you could really see the detail. The detail would be more prominent in the leaf itself, so I blocked those. Oh gosh, what else am I blocking? I think that is dominantly it. Like when I just did the poncho, I just did the crisscross poncho, so I blocked all of those squares individually before I joined them. man, I'm blocking so much. It's crazy. And yeah, like I said, I never saw the point in it before. I never did it before. But now that I know the benefit, I know when to use it and when it doesn't necessarily need to be used. But like for these leaves, I'm blocking all my leaves so that way all the detail can be more pronounced, more prominent. It's crazy. It's crazy. YouTube has taught me so much. Being on YouTube and doing all of these instructional tutorials, and doing all of these different projects, really branching me out. And I've been making things that I've never made before, or doing things that I've never done before. And it's been such an enriching experience for me growing on this channel. And honestly, I wanted to actually mention that as well. I say all the time, thank you so much for joining my crochet journey and letting me be a part of yours, because my YouTube channel is a journey. Since I started my YouTube channel, my journey with crochet has been mind-blowing. I've just grown so incredibly much, and all of you have been able to see me grow, see me learn, see me get better, and just watch my journey unfold before your eyes. And I don't get to see yours. I get people sharing with me your projects that you've made from tutorials on my channel, or just wanting to share with me what my channel has been able to do for you personally. And that's me being involved in your crochet journey. And it's such a special feeling to know that together we are growing in this beautiful, amazing craft. It's super special. And I love, love, love just referring to this whole experience as a journey, because that's exactly what it is. It could go in any direction that you want it to go. You know what I mean? So speaking of crocheting things that I've never crocheted before, I am playing with a brand new project. Never done it before, but playing with the creation of earrings. So this top right here will connect to the earring part that will go in the ear. But I played with this design. I created that just off the top of my head. I thought that would be really pretty. I'm also planning on making one that looks like a dream catcher. So a little bit different, not floral. It'll be just round, circular. But I've never made earrings before, and I've never played with crochet lace before. This is crochet lace. So I think that is super cool. Just new experiences for me. Not a couple years ago. Oh my gosh, it was right. Davin was one and a half, almost 2 years old. So 10 years ago, I was part of a church that I had a crafters gathering. I put together a crafters gathering at this church, and people would just donate yarn and donate supplies because they were just kind of offloading things that they didn't want anymore. And there was a woman who gave me, I think, 12 unopened balls of crochet thread. And she also gave me a book of bookmarks to make with crochet thread that she kind of had intentions for but never did. And I was like, that's really cool. And I've held on to that yarn for all these 10 years because I can't bring myself to get rid of it, to donate it, hand it off to anybody else, because I really wanted to play with it. But I just wasn't sure the right project for me, you know? And finally, I found these crochet earrings, and I wanted to play with them. I wanted to play with earrings. And I saw everybody else was just using crochet thread to make their earrings. So I'm like, yes, I'm finally going to open this up. I'm going to be able to play with this that I've never played with before. And so I'm excited about these. They're turning out awesome. And I'm super excited. So I'm going to try to play with a couple different designs, see what I like best, and maybe I'll even show you guys pictures of option A, option B, and see which one ranks highest, and I'll do a tutorial on that one and maybe just supply a pattern for the other one, because I won't have enough time to do both patterns that I know of. But yeah, super excited about those cuties. In fact, when I was making earrings, I was like, those ones required a circular ring to make them, to keep them in shape, keep them in form. But before I had those circular rings, I was just playing with ideas. So I made a small leaf, a maple leaf, but with crochet thread in this gold color. And it's too big. It just looks awkward and weird. It's just not really gonna work. But I was trying. You know, I got to show you the flops too, not just the successes, not just the, oh, these are the amazing, incredible things that I'm working on and they all look beautiful and amazing. No, there are times when I have a lot of flops and I wanted to show you a flop. So gave this a try, hoped it worked. It's not going to work. But, so it's a flop. But yeah. And then the last thing I wanted to share with you is going to be this Friday's tutorial. I am so excited about this guy. So on YouTube, I've been seeing bandana cowls. I've been seeing these on Pinterest. I've been seeing them on Ravelry. I've been seeing them in a lot of places. They seem to be popular as we're turning into fall. Everyone's excited about fall. So I saw these bandana cowls, or that bandana cowls were becoming a thing, and I was like, I want to make one, but I wanted to make my own pattern. I wanted to do my own thing, you know, like my own spin, my own twist on it. So I came up with a pattern that was beginner friendly, but is one that I think even the experienced crocheter is going to want to make, because it's just so pretty. And this is what it looks like. So it's got an opening here for the cowl part. So it is closed. It's a closed circle. And then you put it on. And you kind of have to adjust it to how it'll fit best for you. But then, let me move the camera so you can see it a little bit better. Like how it fits. It's got that triangle point, like a backwards shawl. And let me bring you closer so you can kind of see the pattern a little bit better. It's very full, but it's also very drapey, comfy, cozy. Now, unfortunately, the yarn that I used for this project was one of those skeins of yarn that I got from the Hobby Lobby clearance sale. So it is discontinued in color. However, knowing that, I did find some yarn I thought was a good substitution to replace for this project, and I mentioned those in the tutorial itself. But this was a project that I surprised myself with, because I was thinking, I want to make, you know, I had all these ideas in my head. I want to make a bandana cowl that, one, I would personally buy, that I would want to wear, that I would see myself actually using, you know, not I just made it because it would do well on my channel. No, this is one that I'm super excited about, because I would legitimately make this if I were on the other side of the camera just watching a tutorial. Two, I wanted to make it fast and easy, because a lot of people, they want to work something up fast because it's going to be a gift, or you just want to mindlessly crochet and let it be relaxing and not focus so much on it being a complicated pattern that you have to pay attention to. And this is super easy, works up super quick, and I can't wait for you to see how easy it really is to make it. And I 100% believe that you guys will, or whoever makes this, will have people asking them to make it for them. It's going to receive a lot of orders, I'm sure. I actually have Megan, my photographer, coming over this evening to take some pictures of me wearing this so I can have some good thumbnail pictures, some good pictures for the pattern, and some good pictures to insert into the video itself. But I'm very excited about this. I'm going to be calling it the Country Girl Bandana Cowl because the colors just remind me of everything I see here in Texas. It reminds me of everything I see here in the South. But even more so, I was looking up in Montana, Wisconsin, Minnesota. I was looking all up the middle of the United States, and there are so many different states and locations that I was seeing where these colors just connected, and I was like, you know, it just reminds me of being in the country. Just being in the country, you know? So I was like, country girl. I liked it. Let me know what you think. What do you think? But yeah, this is going to be this Friday's tutorial. So make sure you watch out for that one. All right, so that is everything that I am currently working on right now. What else? Yeah, so ideally, what I got going on is, so this is Friday. The maple leaf will be Tuesday's tutorial next week. The earrings that I choose will be Friday's tutorial for next week. And that's as far as I go. I'm probably then going to be talking even more about Warm Up America. So I'm still working on Warm Up America stuff. Like I said, goal of 20 swatches before September 9th when everything has to be shipped out. Still working on this Christmas gift. I'm working on Christmas gifts. And hopefully next week I'll be able to tell you, I'm going to be joining the Marcus High School Craft Fair this year here in Texas, Flower Mound, Texas. They are a local school that does craft fairs every year, and I'm going to try to just start fresh, start anew. So I'm going to be taking everything I have here on the table behind my recording desk that you may have seen underneath my Crochet with Tiffany sign. I'm going to be taking that whole table. I'm going to be taking everything that is just, again, taking up real estate and space that I've been hanging on to for a long time, and I'm going to take it there, and I'm going to try to sell stuff off, clear off some room, and just continue to try to make this space the most functional and vibe the best with me possible. So, but I can't register for that event until early September. That's when they start registration. And then I'll be like sharing with you my whole process and everything I'm doing with that. But I'm probably going to be periodically adding some things to that table, though I don't want to focus too much attention on putting stuff on that table. I just want to clear stuff out, you know. So we'll see. It might just be another reason for me to use up some of that scrap yarn and get that off, get that going. But yeah, that's everything for me. Thank you so much for just hanging out with me. No, Barrett, you can't have my coffee. No, I'm sorry. It would do bad things to your little body. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys, letting me share with you my whips that I am working on and just hanging out and chilling. I will see you guys with the next one. Bye.